Hey, how are my favorite white guys?
Hello.
You are my favorite, by the way.
Dude, I had a sick beard until about 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Look at this baby. I
That's
had a
not
beard
why
too, and then I had
I
to.
was leading into complimenting you on your facial hair.
Oh, thanks, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
it's
It's
tight.
coming in nicely. And
Well, I
given the
like the touch
current
of
state of
gray.
affairs,
I like the
yeah.
touch of gray. You look like you should be in like a men's hair grooming commercial.
It could be like Abercrombie models 20 years later.
Oh, fuck. The reunion annual.
Yeah.
Crap. Perish the thought.
You gotta wipe the Bell's palsy out of my right eye here. Hold on.
Oh, shit.
No, crap. You're not getting it back, right? Is it because you're worried about stuff and where things are going? Don't get worried, dude. Things are going to be all right.
I had a night a while ago. This was after our pod, but I had a night where I had to like go in a room and listen to like calm music and shit because it was all coming around. It was all like,
Yeah, in your face, huh? So to speak.
It's funny because the palsy starts with like a tingling in your ear, and then it comes with like tightness in your neck, and I started feeling all that, and Melissa's like, go in another room and just fucking turn the lights off and don't come out until you feel better.
Are you serious? That's kind of how it goes down? Like you can
because
feel it coming on?
The problem is the second or third time you get it, it starts to become permanent. So
no, I got my the builder that's building the house, he has it, and his is permanent. He said he's had it 3 times to where now.
Are you building a new house right now? Is that what you just said?
Maybe.
Nice. I'm surprised you're able to find a builder. Like they're hard to find right now.
No, dude, right now where we're at is it's still hot, red hot. It's still like in this little bubble, a seller's market. These guys are.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In Tampa, you can't even find a general contractor.
Oh, you're saying yeah.
Unless
if you're trying to do like you buy your own piece of land and then trying to build, this isn't a development, so it's it's probably a little different.
All right. Yeah,
that's different.
Cash money.
Well, that's why, because these guys are going in these developments, and it's almost like a no-brainer. They don't have to hunt around for anything. People come to them.
How's everybody doing though? Like Brandon, you know anybody that's affected by the freaking Nordices or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know a lot of young guys, right?
Yeah, I do. And a
You
lot
do
of guys. Right? Well, huh?
You do a lot of mentoring, right?
I do. And trying to get them
groomed. Save it for the podcast, fuckers. Save it for the podcast.
Well, you're recording.
I specifically did this on purpose just because I wanted to see how long it would be before Tyler told me to say it. I pick out a subject that I know he wants on the podcast, and I immediately start working into
it. That's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I got to bring some levity, you know what I mean?
Who you telling? No doubt, man.
Like, Brandon, look at my color and look at Tyler's color. And guess who's been in the sun a lot lately?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
there's a significant difference.
Key West on.
I spent a whole week marathon, but running the boat every day. I was freaking. I'll more pod stuff, but like, there's one thing like I want to talk about on the pod where it's like when your friends realize that you're the responsible one, and we all know each other, and we know we're not the responsible ones. But like just being a pilot at an airline, people think you're responsible.
Oh yeah, that's something. There's something there.
How's that? Better?
That's much better.
Oh yeah, much better.
Nice.
You're still ugly, but it's better.
You had to retreat outside the oasis.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got enough of that for all of us?
Of what?
Beer?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably a little low.
I will not be drinking tonight, boys. I'm fending off COVID-19.
You get tested tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I ordered a kit. It's coming tomorrow morning by 10:30.
Why can't you just go to the doctor?
Why you should be drinking.
So, because I started searching for sites yesterday, and everything's booked up through tomorrow at least when I was looking yesterday. What's that?
Go give blood.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did I just
Really?
did it yesterday. I did the blood test for antibodies, so I can get my results back here.
No, if you go to the red blood bus,
Oh
The
yeah,
bus.
the blood
That's-
bus. The blood bus.
They
Do
have-
that.
Oh, cool. No, I got it coming tomorrow. So.
tip from the
You
lines.
could probably get your HIV tested there too. Just
Oh, really?
for shits and grins. I mean, just because.
Positive. I'm positive I could get it tested there.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Is that why you're wearing a sweatshirt like you're in North Dakota?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that does not look.
My house is 65 degrees right now.
Oh.
I'm
Is that
going
on
through
purpose?
hot flashes. Yeah.
Are you trying to freeze it out? Because I heard that hot weather kills it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm wearing a fucking sweater because I want to.
Tyler doesn't like hot. He doesn't do hot.
I want to move back to
Clearly.
Michigan.
I was gonna say go back to Michigan.
Nate, does Tyler not do hot or does Fat not do hot?
Well,
Fat
How
Tyler
about
doesn't do
Tyler
hot.
doesn't do hot.
Yeah.
There you go.
all,
There's
all the
one and the
above.
same, Zach. One and the same.
Ponder
Stop
that.
name calling. Stop name calling.
Yep.
We're
What's really
frenemies.
going on there?
So how was your flight today, Nate? Any emergencies in the air?
Oh, God, you flew that
well,
thing.
I did, dude, and it was so annoying. I just don't think I can do it anymore.
I don't know how
From-
you're still doing it, dude. You are my hero. You're like an anomaly.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
know how you're still doing it.
It's getting bad though. I mean, I was literally I showed up.
It's
to
got to
the
be getting
squadron.
scary.
Yeah. Well, like with them being at the squadron for the one stop that they have there, which
Yeah.
like within 20 minutes, I was ready to just get my bag and leave because nothing works. There's no computers that work. There's nobody to give us a G2 cut. I mean, it's just a shell of an operation. It's so bad. And then, we showed up to the jet and all the displays, like my ADIs and the screens and stuff, they were covered in mud.
How?
How?
They were
How and
covered
why?
in mud. I don't know.
That doesn't.
I text Kevin McGrath and I'm like, dude, how is this acceptable? This would never, ever happen at a guard or a reserve unit that owns their own airplanes. It's embarrassing.
Wow. Well, did they leave the windows? Like, how do you get? I don't even know. I'm just trying to think. Did they leave the windows open?
Literally, the jet looked like it just came back from the deed, and then they left the windows open, and
Send
I
us
don't
some
know,
pics.
Oh, he's
Oh,
got
you
it
took
ready.
Pictures. What is that? Oh, that's the. Oh my gosh, that's the ADI.
That's my ADI,
Yeah, they definitely left the windows open.
right?
What?
They
Yeah.
had to have. There's no other way. Oh my
Crew
God.
ready,
you gotta
guys.
be kidding me.
That's crew ready.
Do they even see?
Was the radar control panel installed?
Those are
horizontally?
Army standards, man.
Radar control panel was in the correct position. Block 45 jet, but I mean that you've got to be kidding me.
Nate, can you send me that picture?
Oh yeah, I
I need
text.
Well, I'm gonna go out.
Seriously?
You're still in safety.
Yeah, I am.
Because I text McAllister and Sam, and I said I'd like to talk to a maintenance officer about this because this is not okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not at all.
and oh, by the way, when we showed up to the jet, there were 8 crew chiefs, or I'm sure they were training or whatever. But I'm like,
Training
there's 8
in
of you here,
progress.
and nobody can wipe this. How do you? I don't know. Maybe they didn't see it because they weren't on. I mean, but it probably looks worse when it's dark.
So
They're supposed
before
to
we go any further, guys, hold on a second. We have some house cleaning things to do, like ROE type stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just
Are
we're always
We're live,
recording.
dog.
So that was one of them. So
Always live?
always think that we're recording. Always.
Up in this corner, there's a little red button that says we're recording.
Yeah. Not
Like
only
push
that,
bitter?
yeah, upper right
Does,
side.
does that
Um,
kill Corona, Nate? Is that like drinking
I'm
bleach?
sure it does.
Nos.
Yeah, creates
Well, you mean
sparkling
his-
water and
His dip
defeats
juice?
the
Oh,
vibe.
definitely.
defeats the vid.
To minimize editing for those that edit it, we don't need to know where you work. We just know that you're an airline guy and a military guy We don't need no units. We try to keep it as far as vague as possible.
No
Good.
PII.
Easy.
Yeah, no PII. Don't give your social security out on this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I almost
continue.
hit it. We almost hit an eagle on our first touch and go.
You sure it
Literally,
wasn't an osprey?
it was a predator. Yeah.
Was it a freedom eagle?
It was big. It was big.
That's wrong, man. Can
So-
you get in
so then
trouble
we
for
went-
that? No.
We went and flew 360s over Beer Can Island and then they called us and said, we have dispersed the eagle. And I was like, dispersed?
Dispersed.
Did
The
we
shot.
hit it? Yeah, they moved it to the
So
the
you
side
did
of the
hit it.
runway.
It's
No,
a
we did
soaring
not hit
bird.
it.
They can't shoot it.
No, they can't.
With their
So then I
weapons
came
that they have, they can't hit anything that's more than 100 feet in the air.
Jeez.
So then the next, so then we came in and I did a touch and go out of the VFR pattern and we hit a bird on the roll.
And
Right off the radome. Crew aborting mission. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm done flying till December.
So no bullshit,
Oh,
Nate.
God.
Guess who just signed up for a month of orders?
One of our
Are you
guys.
serious? You?
Who are you pointing at?
Me,
Himself.
my eye. I'm poking my eyeball out.
Himself. A
Wow,
month
This
of
isn't,
orders.
this
Why
isn't
would
a
you do that?
three-dimensional podcast, Zach.
Sorry,
I
yeah.
know.
Angle
What was
your
he doing?
finger.
I was trying to show my finger going into my eyeball.
So what do they
Yeah.
expect
Right.
out of you out of this month of orders, Zach?
Well, I specifically actually feel proficient enough right now that I came on to actually train some of these D-bags and bring them up to what I feel like is an appropriate level of safety, because the last couple of times I've flown, I've been unimpressed with even the very experienced people that I've flown with, to the fact of like boom operators calling go rounds and them going, I'm just going to take it down to minimums. And I'm like,
What?
they just said go around, fucking go around.
Those are our guys in the,
Yes.
the unit? Wow.
I heard about that.
You can't name names, but that was good.
Yeah.
That I can go find out.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
the chief safety. But,
Wow.
I heard about that.
it
Not
happens.
okay.
It happens. It's not okay. And it got debriefed. So, But
Well,
that's what I'm talking
why'd they
about.
wait? Why'd they have to go around? Can we talk about that? Like, what did he do?
Was it
that
boom
Oh.
training or something?
horrendous?
It's
Making
like
a
people
brand
that,
new boom
people
feel
that don't
comfortable?
understand Block 45 and don't know how to like couple it to the autopilot, and then when they're 2 dots high, like because it's just droning at
Yeah, straight
push
ahead.
altitude, and you're like, I don't know, do you want to like go down and catch the snowflake?
Oh,
or something like that?
by then in the airlines, you would have gone around. By
No, I
then-
told her I
you're
told I told it to intervene. I said just turn
It,
on autopilot.
you
Go
already said her.
Did he?
Mm,
I said
Yeah.
just fly the airplane. Twice I said
Edit.
just fly the airplane. I wanted it to click in that I wanted the autopilot off, and it never got off. So
Mm.
I literally turned
Well, the-
back to the boom operator, and I kind of gave her the like, and she gave me the, and we were on the same page that a go around needed to be called, and I wanted her to call it. So
Mm.
just to see what would happen, and just
Well-
exactly what I thought would happen happened.
Yeah. Well, along those lines, the guy that was flying the first approach today was going to do a non-precision. And after he got done briefing, I'm like, do you want to discuss how you're going to use the automation for this? And he looked at me and he's like, click, click. I'm like, well, okay.
How it goes.
That's one way to do it. But he's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll try to use the automation. I'm like, well, you might want to think about what you're going to do,
Sequence of events.
before then. So
Yeah.
Nate, were you part of the initial Block 45 cadre that went up to Grissom and got trained? I can't remember.
nope.
I know. But it was literally, I think 5 years ago when we all went. And now it's just like, I feel like we're finally have all Block 45 and they're being used. And I feel like everybody out there is just like, wow, Block 45. All right. I'm going to go fly it today. No
Yeah.
experience. No idea how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to push buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason I'm not proficient by any means, but just because I was in the sim a couple of weeks ago in Block 45. But they're not all Block 45 though, because I read
No.
tappers that are Block 40s.
Yeah. I'm just saying that like everybody thinks they can fly.
You're
Yeah.
still not all converted yet? Jeez.
No.
How's it going to take?
2025 is the final day for it. Or
Are you
2020.
kidding me? Unbelievable. So let's talk about
do you have any more ROEs there, BA?
No. I was gonna, kind of roll into the elephant in the room. And the reason why I called you all here, and the reason why this is called Furlough Fridays. So
Right.
who got warning letters? So warning letters went out for our guys. Oh, really? You got one? Yeah.
I got one I got mine on
Funny
July
thing,
1st.
Had you kept your seniority number from what, 07? You probably wouldn't have gotten one. So
Right.
that leads us into this story, and we
I'm
want you
done
to
with
tell
this.
that story.
Water under the bridge.
No, Nate, no, it's a great story. Come on, be a sport. So I'll start it off. So Nate initially got hired, and then you can finish.
Wow.
Set you up. Here you go, Nate.
So
Yeah, thanks.
So Nate got hired at a major airline, which will remain nameless.
I did.
And I think I would have been only a month senior to you, right? Or something like that. In
October
07, right?
of 07.
Yeah, so I'm up September of 07. And had delusions of grandeur, gave up that position to get a position with the military. Right? Is
Correct.
that fair?
As an Air Reserve technician?
As an
As a
Air Reserve
technician.
But I
Full
think,
timer.
but I think what you're skipping over here is like there was a part of the airline that Nate did not enjoy that I think a lot of people would relate to.
And that's what I want to get at. That's kind of the part of the what you felt at that time and kind of go
what
into
I
that.
felt. Yeah. So I got off active duty in July of 07. Rushed and got hired by the reserve unit at Selfridge, KC-135s. And I did that because I knew they were coming to Tampa, which is where I've lived since 2003. And got hired by, I was assigned the MD-88 in New York, and was on reserve, was living in a crash pad in Kew Gardens, with one of those places that have, there were 6 bunk beds in each bedroom.
Yeah.
We kept our bedding in a Tupperware bin in the basement, which in itself going down there was dangerous. You had to call the crash pad ahead of time, and they'd write your name on a dry erase board outside the door, and that's how you got your bed. So I was 36 years old at the time, and I did that for, 8 months, and I'm like, so that part of it I didn't really care for. I could not stand flying the MD-88.
The dog.
Mostly because I just I was used to flying my military plane and being fairly decent at it. Fly the 88, and it was just, I don't know how long it takes to get comfortable in that thing, but I just didn't.
That's one of those things. That's a humbling experience for all of us. I think when we transition into the aviation in the civilian world, man, we come off king shit, and then we go there and we're like,
yeah,
what happened to my skills?
Yeah. So that was part of it. And a lot of the captains I flew with were just jerks. I mean, that had a big piece of it, and then, so in October of 2008, the active duty unit here, this is VSP time, all the IPs were gone. And, the DO of the active duty squadron, offered me 2 months of orders to help them train. I think there were 26 brand new co-pilots, and they had nobody to train.
Wow. Yeah.
So I was like, well, I could be, so I dropped 2 months of mil leave, November and December, to do that. And I was actually at the base. I'll never forget it, walking into the trailer, and the chief pilot called me on my phone and just laid into me, gave me a bunch of heat for not wanting to work for the company. And, it was the holidays, but I mean, it was 2 months of orders. It's not like I
Yeah,
was
you weren't trying to
taking-
skirt the system or anything like
I
that.
wasn't flying over, Christmas and Thanksgiving or whatever. I was doing, what I felt was useful. Plus I was going to be home or whatever. And so after that phone call, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I told some of the senior guys in the unit, they were airline guys, and one of them called the chief pilot back, and he was like, I don't really think you can say the things that you said to Nate because
You might want to
just
walk
violated.
that back.
Yeah. One of those phone conversations I wish I had recorded. So anyway, I talked to the union guys about it, and they're like, oh yeah, that guy does that all the time and this and that and blah, 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 blah. So then, a month or two later, somewhere in that time frame, we stood up the unit, and there were technician jobs available, and it just seemed like the thing to do at the time. It was the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life, because
we were having a lot of fun. We were actually having fun.
Yeah, that was good. And that's a good point, man. You went into an environment that wasn't fun, and then you come back to the unit, and we were actually having a good time at that point. We were all in the same unit. We had a great group, and as guys you wanted to be around, as opposed to your experience going into the airlines and being around, sitting 2 feet next to a guy that's giving you shit, and you're flying the shit plane.
Yeah.
No offense to the MD-88 guys out there, but compared to what you were doing in the military and the camaraderie, it just wasn't there. So
it wasn't there at all. And then we had just moved to our house that's a mile and a half away from the base. I was home every night. So it was just, at the time, I was just, you know what? And I was,
Playing
at that
softball.
time, playing softball, working on my bad golf game, stuff like that. But, at that time in my airline career, I was making way more money as a technician and doing, TR stuff militarily. So I was making more money, that would have evened out after 3 years or whatever, but
sure.
I did it. And then, I kept doing it probably for about 2.5 years, maybe 3 years too long. I should have went back to the airline sooner, but I just took me a while to get back. And I had to email the company and the hiring people and say, hey, can I come back? Because when I resigned, I did everything by the book and made sure I didn't burn any bridges. And the guy called me back and said, yeah, I've checked with HR and you can come back, but obviously you got to start over from the bottom. You got to re-interview. And so
Yeah,
and there's more to that story. But
there's a really good story about you getting the offer letter too, right?
Yeah.
How many offer letters did you receive?
How many
what
did you actually
percentage
get?
of them were authentic?
I got 2.
All right, guys. So we got
50% of them were authentic.
We got to tell the story because we got the 2 guys right here. I mean, let's get into it without getting too deep. Or can you? Did you sign something that says you can't?
No, but there's 2 other people that were involved that never ever get brought up when this event happens.
Oh, those
one of
people
them
aren't
does.
half as much as fun as you are. Come on. Well, actually, they are pretty fun too. But you're here, and they're not.
No, yeah, I mean, everybody makes mistakes.
So what year are we discussing now?
20.
So fast forward. So wait, fast forward, and Nate
2017.
wants his job back.
2017. Nate reapplies to the same company from 2000.
No, it's 2018, right, Nate?
No, I think it was 2016.
2016.
It was
Yeah.
16.
Okay.
16 because I reapplied in July of 16.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I deployed to Turkey in the beginning of October.
Yep.
Yeah, I deployed to Turkey in the beginning of October. So had I gotten an interview between October and December, I wouldn't have been able to go.
Right.
So that set me back a little further. So I was playing in a golf tournament, and I got an email on my phone, my Yahoo, and it was an interview invite email with a letter, and it looked exactly like the one I had gotten before. And the email on my phone showed me pilot hiring.
Yeah.
And so I called the number to the hiring department and said, hey, I want to set up my interview. And they're like, what? Who are you? I'm like, I got an interview letter. And they're like, no, not from us. You didn't. And I'm like, okay. So then I had to do a lot of research and figure out what was going on. And the company got very upset. They were upset with me originally because they thought I did it and was trying to get hired, like, backdoor or whatever.
Backdoor the situation, yeah.
Yeah. So I had to do a lot of explaining, a lot of explaining to do. And then I did some more research and found out that it was some of my good friends that decided to play a joke on me that didn't end up turning out very well.
What was
It turned
what was
out very
the
well.
at blank.com from?
Well,
It
so I'll intercede because it was like I would have fallen for it too. Like it was like.
So Zach, let's talk.
It was the UTA baby. We were all sitting at Four Rivers. I remember it well.
Oh,
There were
yeah.
three of us sitting at a table, and I had got hired by the company based out of Dallas, the big one, and in February, and then I got a letter just out of training in April inviting me to the company out of Atlanta. And I had the email, and I said, hey, I'm just going to delete this thing. And then somebody was like, hey, there's some other people that are applying. Why don't we play a funny joke? And then there was some banter.
So the plot thickens.
Somebody created the email address that was aforementioned. There was 2 iterations of the email, and I had sent them around for proofreading and for checking. And the one that I sent to Nate was supposed to have the number replaced with the number to QW North.
Exactly.
But the
And
one
this is
that
where
actually went to Nate
the
was
real
the
number.
actual copy of the email from the Atlanta-based airline.
The real dudes.
right.
Oops.
And that's the number that I clicked on my phone
Yep.
when I called.
And so it was the
But that
worst,
would have been
it was the stupidest joke, went terrible. Should have been funny, but it was not funny because of the way it was executed. And
it was hilarious because the outcome is him getting the job. Like he still got the job.
no,
Now, had he not got the job because of it, that's heartbreaking.
well, the
But
greatest part is I got my due process, I guess, because I went through, so he deployed out, and I actually walked into his office to tell him, and he already knew. And he said, did you do it? And I said, yes. And then I said, let's walk in the hallway. And then we went in the hallway. I said, you can punch me in the face right now if you want. And he goes, I'm not going to fucking punch you in the face. I was fully expecting to get punched in the face. And I understood why he's mad because it was pretty bad,
Sure.
right? Shit. The Atlanta-based company has been in contact
You're
with
really
me
bad at
on a
this.
fact-finding mission. And their law firm had also been in contact with me to find out how involved I was. And basically, I just spilled the guts to them.
yeah.
And then that went down a rabbit hole because then they were going to prosecute me. But then we came to a settlement. If I gave them the access to the blank hiring at blank.com email address,
Yeah.
they would only contact my flight department and tell them what I did.
Yeah.
And they would not prosecute me to whatever they were going to do.
So did they actually contact your airline?
Yeah.
Did your airline contact you?
No, there's nothing that could be done. It was a
Well,
joke.
I'm just
I was on probation. They could have done something.
Oh, you were on probation. I thought you were out of it.
No.
Well, I guess they could have. But I mean,
Nobody ever contacted me, so I'm assuming that
they're probably thinking like, what?
they're
And
not the
just
biggest
didn't
fans
think
of
anything
that airline. There's some.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
I'm
It
sure,
is. It is a conflict. Yeah,
I'm sure when they called him, they were like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
they probably had some giggles over beers. Giggles
That's
over
exactly
beers.
what happened. So you wouldn't believe
Yeah.
this.
I
I'm
thought
gonna
you-
call him right now. He's coming to my office.
I
It's
bet you
funny
they're
how
still telling that story.
We're all
They're still
smiling except Nate.
He said Nate.
Yeah.
Nate is biting his lip.
I'm surprised I didn't get like a letter of recommendation or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what? That's
Letter
gotta be
of
a great
something.
story. I wonder if that helped
Letter
Nate
of
get the
something.
job. Like the whole story behind it. You think, Nate? Have you had any feedback?
No, I don't think it did.
No, it didn't. They didn't find it funny at all. Like, once they realized what happened.
Yeah.
Really?
The
Was
legal.
it in your
So-
interview?
I think about no, that didn't come up in my
Okay,
interview.
good.
They did ask me why I left, and then they
Mm,
asked me
fair.
what took me so long to come back. So it was
Also,
that
fair
part of the
question.
that part of the interview was reasonable. I was ready, to field those
Yeah.
questions, but it wasn't too bad. But I got the real letter about a month later, and then
Oh,
I
okay.
interviewed in January of 17.
So the moral of the story, kids, boys and girls.
So speaking of letters, you recently received a furlough warning letter.
Yep.
Does that mean
what's
that a
that mean?
furlough is imminent, or what does that letter mean to you?
Well, you can't say both in the same sentence. It's either a warning letter or a furlough letter. So that's what I come to realize, because we were throwing that around too. It's it's not a warning furlough letter. It's yeah. So there is a little bit of a distinction, but it's
Well, do you
with a
want to
big
just go into it?
implication. Yeah. Talk about it.
I agree with that. The letter I got, and we were all expecting it, by contract and by law and labor law, and it's all sorts of
Yeah, they
stuff.
have
They got
to.
to they got to give you a 90
90
day
days.
notice. And I
Yep.
still don't know. I think only the people at my company that were hired after the contract expired in December are the ones that got it.
Do you have numbers? What are your numbers? Did they give
What do
you
you
a target number that they're looking at?
No, not in the letter.
Really?
No, it's
So we
I
got
wanna say-
we got an email and then the letter. Well, I didn't get a letter. Thank God. But I know guys got the letter. Everybody in the pilot corps got a CCS message, a message online from the VP saying that this was going to happen, and he had a number in there. So you guys don't have a number. The target
there
number
may
to
be
furlough.
there may be it's around
Okay.
2,500, I think,
Okay, yeah, that's about the same
Did
for us.
something like that.
Everybody get a number or a letter then, or did just a certain percentage of the company get a letter?
My company, just a certain percentage got it. Like
Yeah.
our
So I may have
old
confused
our
you.
old DO didn't get a letter.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten a letter had I not resigned from the company. Granted.
Yes,
So-
yes, I know. And that's why I'm kind of like rubbing it in a little bit. Like I wish you would have
Yeah, I
stayed,
know.
brother. But
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
all
make
good.
decisions.
Hey, life is.
Sorry,
man.
you got a rich wife. It's fine.
Somebody had to lead that squadron.
Oh my God! Thank God it was you, not somebody else.
Right.
So yeah, so I may have confused you, Tyler, since you're not an airline guy. We got all of our pilots got a letter from the VP, but then saying that certain number of you are going to get a letter, a warning letter. So and that's
Well, what can you explain the warn? Because it's an act. It's
Yeah,
not.
It is an act.
They keep saying warning, and warn stands for. I don't know what I'd have to look it up, but warn actually stands for
Warn
whatever
Act,
the act
yeah.
is that require, and it's a labor law that's not
Yeah.
specifically attached to airlines. It's actually all labor. Like there has to be a notification period prior to a furlough. And
correct.
I was on the vacation I was just on. I was on with a labor attorney, and she was explaining it all to me. And we have the same 60-day notification, but I haven't received anything, and nor has anybody else at the company. So our CEO came out straight up, very candid, in a crew news, which is a thing he does every other week or so. And he straight up said, October 1st, we're going to be 30% fat. And he goes, 30% is total employees. And then he explained, because it's for crew news, it's only pilots and flight attendants. And he was like, now a large number of this is actually going to be flight attendants and gate agents, because a wide body takes 8 to 14 flight attendants and 2 pilots or 3 pilots. And he goes, a narrow body takes 2 pilots and 4 flight attendants. So as you can see, the numbers are, when we get rid of wide body flying, the numbers get exponential as far as furloughs on their side of the house, not our side of the house. And he kind of alluded to the fact that we're going to be about 10% heavy on the pilot side, which they've already done early outs and temporary leaves of absences and all this other stuff. And they're trying to work it out that way. And with 10%, they might not do anything. They might not furlough at all. So I don't know.
And that's what our guys were saying too. Our guy was basically saying, hopefully they won't happen. They're going to send out these WARN letters, and that stands for Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act of 1988, the WARN. So yeah, he basically said the same thing, that they have a target number, but with everything that's happening, once the dust settles, it probably won't be that many. So, but everybody had to get the WARN letter. So, who knows? I mean, we got we got similar numbers though than his name.
So our company, they sent the letters to the company, your official company email address. They didn't send it to your personal email address, which is funny, because all the other correspondence you get from them goes to your personal email address. And then I found out that it was there.
They can.
Yeah, probably not. But then they know, so I found out that it was there to go look for it by social media, so there's a lot of guys didn't even, and then they sent the email on July 1st, and then they mailed a hard copy, which I got. It was dated July 1st, and then I got it like last week. So hard copy in the mail.
How many captains do you know don't even know that they have work email?
Oh man, I'm telling you. Oh, I haven't looked at that thing in years. What, dude? Yeah. Like, that's sometimes the only way they talk to you. You know that, right? If they want me, they'll call me. I'm like,
Must be nice.
Jeez, man, check your email.
Well, I've flown with captains. I've flown with plenty of captains that don't even know how to turn on their iPads.
Oh yeah, so, without question, definitely, especially on the triple. Yeah,
give me that thing. Sure. Give me that thing.
Give me the damn. I don't even use it, and they pick it up. Hadn't been turned on. They throw it right back into their bag.
Yeah,
throw it.
Can you imagine our former OG that flies for Zach's airline trying to work an iPad?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Wild Bill would have had a freaking. He'd have been like, "Hey guy, why don't you just brief it up for me and then I'll fly it." Well,
yeah.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah. Tell me that guy didn't take an early out.
Guaranteed. He's got every good deal known to man. Of course he earlyed out. He's like 55 hours. I don't have to go again. Fuck. I didn't know I got this job.
Yeah.
Out of there. I didn't know I was still hired. That works. I'm out of here. Yo, you know what? The flight attendants got hit hard. Yeah, we lost a lot. We lost a lot.
Pour one out for the.
Yeah, a little something for our flight attendants. Pour out some for our homies, because it's gonna hurt them. Probably far more than it hurts us.
I still don't think
there's some opportunities there.
I still don't think our company is going to axe 2,500 people on the 1st of October.
I don't think so either.
I don't think it's possible.
You'll have.
We got a plan though.
Early outs.
Yeah, so they're going to phase ours. So the first wave is going to be, I don't know.
So it's 1750, 250, and 250.
Exactly. That's what it was. How do you know that? That's good.
JoJo.
Oh.
We talk.
Do you guys?
Well, even though I can't have him over to the house anymore because Tyler might have given him COVID. So I don't know.
You think he gave it to you?
Well, they were hanging out together, and Tyler has symptoms, so now I can't hang out.
No, you
Nate
can't.
might have it too.
Yeah, my nieces got tested today up in West Virginia because they were around the group this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Did anybody hit on the one that's of age?
No, I don't think so.
Can you say?
No, they didn't.
That's good.
I was gonna say, was the guy at the far left of the group picture? He was not doing anything.
Oh, he's creepy, dude. Why was he way out there? Like he looked like he was being quarantined in that picture. It's so horrible. And in the edit, can you splice in that picture to show and like blur out the faces? You got to see this thing.
I have to go see who you're talking about.
Come on.
Oh, you didn't see that? Come on.
I can guess
Now do you know?
He flies for a low cost carrier.
Do those still exist? Low cost carriers?
And recently just bought a big boat. So.
All right, biggest relative. Come on. I was talking to Dina back and forth, a friend of the friends. Yeah, you know what? Interrogative. Yeah, this is for the podcast. I think she needs to be our official wench to the Sky Pirates.
Can you imagine if she was in the 63rd?
She is amazing.
Back in the day.
Amazing. Imagine if she knew us back then.
Nate isn't
Oh.
real happy with her right now. Her
No.
Facebook page.
Oh no! Everybody needs to go to what's her Facebook page so everybody can go to it and look at this monstrosity.
It's no longer there.
Yeah.
That was a thing of
removed.
beauty. I took a lot of screenshots, and then we were talking about it back and forth, her and I.
Yeah.
I really like her.
Stuff
He needs
happens
to be
in our
proud of
group, and it should stay in the group, right?
Yeah. Not be posted on social media.
Look how stressed Nate is right now.
I'm almost,
sweating.
almost a year past
Yeah.
mine. I'm almost about to like live through mine. So like I.
Wait,
but
live through your what?
Yours wasn't captured.
Oh,
on,
yeah.
Yours wasn't captured on film.
Yeah, I remember.
Yours was
so
epic.
Omar's been
Omar
gone.
coming.
He's been gone a year, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Omar.
Oh wow. Omar.
Are we cheersing to Omar?
Oh, good old
Man,
Omar.
now
He's
I
got a
just see
little
Omar
water.
post on his LinkedIn. I'm like, what?
LinkedIn, like he's a professional.
Yeah,
like
he
any
does.
any air crew can really be a professional at some point. Like we tried to fake the funk. We play the game. Case in point, we had a tyrant for a boss once. Nate, you might know him.
I do.
Come on,
That
dude.
tries to play the role as a professional.
Yeah.
Not a professional.
Don't bring his name.
No.
Oh, we're gonna bring him up. Oh, we got to talk about this character. This what would you say about him? Jeez, what? Tyrant, just a tyrant. We'll leave it at that. We won't get vulgar, right?
Yep.
Because we're gonna try to respect the situation. Maybe, I don't know.
I believe when you look up toxic leadership, that his picture probably shows up in the description.
Correct. So we'll code his name. We won't say his name. We'll just code it Little Frank. That's all we'll say. We'll just code. We won't give his full credentials. But those in the tanker community, or pretty much any community that's ever had to deal with him, probably know who he is.
Yeah, I'm a 19-year
Probably.
major. I know who he is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you too? Yeah, he did the same thing to me. Probably the worst leader I've ever seen. And in my 22-year career, it's a thing of beauty.
Yep.
22? Wait, 21. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I thought Nate was bad. Nate, I really did. I thought you were a horrible leader. But no,
I know.
this guy.
Thanks.
So, but here's the greatest story about.
Relax.
Here's the greatest story about that interaction lately. Is I was like looking into blocking somebody else from going to my airline, and I called up my union rep and I was like, "Hey, I got a guy. I'm not sure. He's already gone through the interview process, but he hasn't got a letter yet, and it's not good." And the guy's like, "Well, here's what you got to do. You got to like fill out this paperwork, and you got to write a story, and then we have a board that reviews it, and then we'll call him in for an interview, and of course, it's going to be disclosed that it was you that tagged." I'm like, "I'm fine with that. I don't care. I'll go tell him myself." And I said, "But the only problem is he goes, it's like a court. Like we read off what you say, and then if he has good explanations for everything, then it's up to whatever the board is that decides whether this guy gets to stay or not." And I was thinking about like capital. I'm thinking of like, do I want to burn all of my capital on this thing right now? And I was like, but what if I have another guy that is a guaranteed like home run, don't hire this guy? And they said, "Oh yeah, tell us about him." And I was like, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, "Yeah, fill out the paperwork for him. And then we just have it on file. We'll just keep it on file." And I was
Did they really say that?
Yeah. He goes, "We'll just keep it on file. Like when we see his name come up, we'll just pull out the file."
And that was for codename Little Frank? You did that for?
Yeah.
Attaboy. Yeah, I got to go do that.
But it's great because like he's like, "Oh yeah, here's the paperwork," and he like sends it to me immediately. He's like, "Fill that out," and he's like, "It's people like that we love to have on the list."
But you know what? Are you really burning capital? Because there used to be a time where you can just like, hey, call your chief pilot or it wasn't even HR. You just call your chief pilot like, "Hey, this guy is not either safe, and that's a close kin to whether or not you can fly with a guy or not, or if you're going to have some HR problems where co-pilots won't fly with them, or pilots will kick them, or the guy in the left seat will kick the guy off the jet." That's a nightmare. It affects the bottom line.
So
I guarantee
sadly, one more comment on that. The first guy that I'm talking about should be the no-brainer. Like,
yeah.
he has cockpit discipline might
Is
be
it
the
the same
worst.
guy that someone told me about? I
Probably.
think so.
Same
Yeah,
guy
it
since
is.
2009. Like, we're talking
And
about.
he got hired where I'm at, and yeah.
No,
But
No.
horrible. No, he didn't.
Didn't get
Okay,
it.
so-
He just went from my farm team to my main team.
oh, okay, yeah. Well then, good. I thought he got hired with us.
But anyway, like,
But COVID hit him, right? I mean, he's probably gonna get.
COVID hit him. Yep.
He's not gonna make it. You know what? It's funny how you hate to say some things happen for a reason, man. How bizarre. How bizarre. Like you couldn't have thought that, that would happen based on the climate, what's going on in the world. Like you obviously don't wish this thing on anybody. But man, the effect that it's had, and when you think everything's going to be rosy, I got a buddy that is a great, contrastly, I got a guy that's a great guy, amazing to fly with, militarily. I've been roommates with him. I don't know how many times. I think I'm even married to his wife. He got hit. I mean, he got hired, 6 months ago, maybe? Well, what are we in? July? Yeah.
Yep.
Something like that last year. And the end of last year, and he's getting hit too. So it's like it's indiscriminate. It's crazy.
So
Unfortunate.
yeah, on that tip, like, what do we feel like is going to happen to the pilot force going forward, as far as like maniacs versus, because all the, everybody's got threads, everybody's got apps, communicator apps. Like, there's Chicken Littles out there that are running around with their heads falling off, and there's others that are like just trying to play it cool.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of in the middle, where I'm like cautiously optimistic, I guess. But a strong second wave comes, and it could get deeper.
Oh yeah, it'll get deeper if another second wave comes.
But I'm safe by, I think the Dallas-based company is talking about, if they're talking 10 to 15%, they're talking about 1,500, 2,000. I mean, if they go up to 3,000, they're going to miss me by a sea hair, like fucking, I'm like a cunt hair above 3,000. So, you know what I mean?
Wow.
From the bottom, which normally you'd be super safe, right?
Yeah, I guess. Well, that's the thing. What's normally anymore? That's what we got to look into. I mean, it'll get second wave, or people just stop flying. People, who knows?
So 9/11 was 20%. 9/11 was 20%.
Yeah. This eclipse 9/11, like you wouldn't believe. And who thought that could be even possible? Who thought that was even possible?
I doubt it'll be as long term though.
Well, what's long term? So the remnants, so the ripple effects of 9/11 lasted significant. Actually, it's still here. It never went away. Like you could say
9/11 lasted
everybody's career.
10 years.
10 years at least. So I was going to say 10 years, but then I think about it, it still delayed me upgrading. It delayed everybody that was in my kind of class, right? Or anybody that got hired.
Guys, we all know at AA used to go, they were the DO and the ADO of the OSS, would go in an office every UTA, and I would walk in and I'd be like, hey, KP, can I get this? And it'd be like, and it was just them just unloading on each other over 10 years of all of this like strife. And what I'm getting at with this is like, whatever we're dealing with now, we're going through like the first phase of like grief, right? Like everybody's just like getting through the moment.
Circles of hell.
The next 4 stages of grief are effing terrible, because you're dealing with it in a cockpit while you're moving around on an airfield. And
so
like I heard about the United Continental stuff from our friend JoJo, and I was like, I wouldn't want to be in that cockpit. And I'm sure Nate can relate to this with his experience going back to the Atlanta-based company, is like, if you're hearing about this stuff in the cockpit all the time, it's not a fun environment anymore.
And it's contentious, man. It was really contentious.
So 9/11 was, we'll say, 16 years removed from a worldwide pilot shortage.
Sure.
Right.
Okay. I see where you're
So
going. Yeah.
that pilot shortage worldwide is still real, just not today.
Well, how
So I think this
is it a
recovers.
shortage anymore?
Not right now. There's not.
Okay, so you're saying
But
after
I'm-
recovery.
But
There was a shortage in December.
yeah,
You know,
and everybody was
Yeah.
planning for that shortage
Sure.
and just doing everything they could to keep up with the looming shortage. And there's still 10 years left of that wave still, assuming COVID doesn't happen.
Sure. Okay.
I am optimistic in the sense that we can't stay shut down. Economies can't stay shut down, or
Yeah.
they don't exist. Now, I see this playing out over a period of 18 to 36 months. I think I can't see it lasting beyond 36 months. I mean, they're doing.
You mean guys actually being furloughed and on the street kind of thing? Or the effects of what's going on? The effects of what's going on, especially if we get into contract negotiations.
There'll be a. Oh yeah, the contract negotiations. You guys are fucked for that right now.
Well, so that's
the airlines have all the leverage now in that regard.
Tyler, I was going to be a captain in December.
So I get right.
Now I'm not going to be a captain until 2025.
So I guess Tyler, I have to ask, and to be fair and clear, Tyler's is the lone non-airline guy here. So, I mean, you don't get the conversations that we kind of do, and not to your detriment. I'm saying like we hear about how these guys live during that time, and it's like bizarre. It's amazing.
I'm just saying it's not going to last as long. It might delay your upgrades.
And I'm saying you got to define last. So here's the thing. So here, when you start talking dollars, right? So it was figured out to me. I got a guy that I was flying with that I used to fly with a lot, and he's a great dude. A lot of people don't like him though for some reason, but I get along with him. He's the captain, and he was saying, and I was like, I don't know if I want to upgrade, blah, blah. He's like, dude, every year that goes by that you don't upgrade costs you money. I'm like, really? So he actually did the numbers. So we had a long flight, and we're doing the numbers, and it turned out to be a significant amount of money once I got to retirement, what that could have meant, right?
So I understand
so the
that
ripple
conversation.
Effect. Yeah, so I'm just saying that there's other layers.
That's a different
to
conversation than what I'm not.
Okay.
There's definitely that. I
Sure.
agree with.
Are you talking about the
But
public?
I don't think we're going to wait 15 years before all the furloughees are called back and airlines start hiring.
No. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that'll probably be a year, maybe two, depending on. But here's what's going to happen too, is that there companies, like you said, you can't be shut down. You're right, but companies and organizations are going to figure out different ways. They're going to find efficient ways to do the same thing that they were doing had they had to travel, right? Meeting.
Yep.
This hell, what we're doing right now in Zoom, the whole thing. So they're going to figure that out and then stick with it. So that's going to become their new normal, to where it's like, you know what, we're saving X, Y, and Z on X, Y, and Z or whatever. And it's not, they're going to deem it unnecessary, even though it probably is. You know, it's nothing like being face to face and shaking a hand, but
conferences.
Yeah, it's already happening. Did you guys see
that?
Did you see Brooks Brothers filed for Chapter 11 because nobody's buying suits?
No one's buying suits anymore because you don't have to. I'm not wearing pants right now. Let me stand up and show you.
Nice.
Just kidding.
Yeah. No, they're all these everybody, you know, Aaron's firm, they're all figuring out that they're actually possibly more productive at home, unless they're
at home
schooling their kids, you know.
Right.
But, you know, all these companies are figuring out that you know, however, they can make it work, but you guys all know that a lot of business happens face to face at the bar after the meeting.
The bar, the golf course, yeah. I mean, that has to happen. Like that's not going to go
away, but that's not going to go away, but it's definitely taking a hit for sure, you know. But like to what Tyler's getting at, you know, our company, all the projections and numbers that they're using to adjust the staffing right now is for the flying demand in the summer of 22. That's the numbers they're using. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're looking at the flying demand, and they're basing all their numbers off of the summer of 22.
Yeah, ours is 21. So their July 21 is what they base every number of that's what they're going to base furloughs off of.
So I just think that once people realize this thing isn't as deadly as it was first feared, right? Like what the number last week with like, so we're getting climbing cases,
Right?
But no deaths.
So we're at like a 0.026% mortality rate. So assuming that you get it, you have a 99.99.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we get it.
So
don't do the math.
Yeah, whatever the
Jeez, you're gonna give yourself a fucking nosebleed. Relax.
Public math. Yeah, whatever. But
So Tyler, what percent are you in?
well,
yeah, answer that question.
fingers crossed.
Are you going to be here next week?
Well, so but,
please be here next week.
I guess the point is once that those numbers start getting out, I think the fear of travel will diminish, and I think people are going to come back sooner than later.
So what happened? So we had a pilot shortage, last year, and then in the last year, right? So what happens now when they call everybody back and, a third of them don't come back because they found other jobs and they're just like, we're not coming. Do we have the demand? Is there a demand out there? Or do we have the supply, I should say? Is there a supply of pilots that we can pull from? I don't know.
Well, then that gives leverage to the pilot again. Granted, it'll be 5 years for the next contract, but whatever.
Jeez. Oh, yeah. Let's hope there's no concessionary contracts interim to that.
Well, JB did a concessionary.
What'd you
say?
Did
they really? Did they?
Oh, JB.
That's I didn't hear that.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
No furloughs through April of 21. But I think it was minor. It was pretty minor what their concessions were. But
did they give up?
I think they took an ALV reduction.
Oh, okay.
I think. I don't know that for sure, but I thought I read that.
Just dropped their line values down.
Yeah.
That's like just a pay concession. And I think it was a snap up, like as soon as the company's profitable or as soon as there's a certain amount of
there's a snap up clause. That's good.
Yeah. My company, all the guys are not. That's been the talk for the last 6 months is no concessions, none.
Oh yeah, we're not. I think any of the major airlines, the big three, they're all talking the touting. Absolutely not. So
we had almost 1,000 people take 1,000 people 62 or older took 55 hours.
What is that?
Sorry,
what is that? Dog. That's the dog? Are you sure?
Yeah. Well, it's his toy. He's playing this.
Can we see it? Oh, okay. It's a squeaky toy. Holy cow. Thought you were like punching some small animal.
Punching a clown.
My dog's not a real dog.
Oh, that is a real dog. You punch. Oh yeah, that's the GSP. Beautiful. Look at that guy. Yeah.
And now I can breathe by setting him down.
Yeah. Don't give your dog COVID, dude.
It's a bird dog that doesn't like to swim in a pool.
Are you serious?
Nate, did I tell you about him swimming a mile downriver though?
No, your dad's
was it by accident?
So I was mowing at my dad's place, and I'm in the backyard, and I see this head bobbing down in the middle of the river. The river is about a quarter of a mile wide at my dad's house. And I go out to the end of the dock, and I'm like, Braun, get the fuck over here. Get over here. And his head's bobbing, and about 10 feet in front of him are 2 ducks. And they're just swimming along. They're like, this guy ain't fucking catching us. Head bob. He's fucking going after him, and he disappears under the bridge to my right.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, this fucking dog's gonna swim until he tires out, and then he's just gonna drown.
Nah, they don't do that.
So I run back in the house. Dogs. I run back in the house, and I get a kayak paddle, and I hop in a kayak, and I catch up to him about a mile down the river. He's still behind these 2 freaking ducks. And every time he gets close to them, they just jump and go about 20
Yeah, they fly because they have wings.
Yeah. And I try to pull this asshole into the kayak, and he ends up fighting me and kicking me in the face. And I fall into the river. And then I have to carry him Baywatch style. I got him by the neck.
You got by the neck?
I'm swimming backwards, and it's like having like a fighting drowning victim. You know what I mean?
Like water survival. Water survival.
I got him by the neck, and I'm like dragging him to shore, and then like I get him over there, and he like licks me in the face, and he's like, "Sorry, bro."
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah, and then
I got to tire out
on the beach right there in front of all the old people.
Of course. Did you just cover it with sand, or did you pick it up?
No, I just swam away. I was like, fucking
You take Brian with you to Key West last week?
No, he went to daycare.
Oh.
Doggy daycare.
He doesn't get to go to Key West. Fucking.
How was Key West?
It was nice. They don't have any COVID cases down there, but like I'll tell you what, we did not go out to eat one time. We had 3 families in one house. We had a Publix run every day, and it was like we spent all day, every day on a different sandy shoal in the Keys, and it was just like.
Oh yeah, so you took your boat there, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Did you trailer it or drive it?
Trailered it.
Because
wow,
don't they have roadblocks to get
I was gonna say
into Key West?
So let's talk about this. So like, this is my 2 cents on this deal. So they were like,
you act like it was a bad idea to trailer your boat down there.
Yeah. You know what? Like, if my dad didn't buy the cheapest fucking thing of everything that he's ever bought, then yeah, it probably would have been a great idea.
Uh-oh. Dad under the bus.
I trailer this boat down there, get the boat down there. And then the other thing is like, when you're, first of all, when it's your boat, it's your responsibility. Sure. Second of all, when you're like the airline pilot that knows boating and your 2 friends that you've brought their families along don't know boating that well, guess who's the captain all fucking week?
You are the captain now.
Yeah.
You
are the captain now.
You are the captain.
Every day I'm up early getting this boat ready to go, spraying it down, cleaning it, getting it ready to go. And everybody else is in the house like rolling out of bed late, freaking like eating donuts.
Get that party on.
And then everybody rolls out of the house, jumps on the boat, and I'm like, "Hey, has anybody got any food for me or anything like that?" And they're like, "Fuck it, we're going. We're late. We got to get to the shoal."
Oh, really?
And I'm
that's when you just get off the boat and say, "I'll be right back."
Well, the greatest part is I just turn to my wife and I go, "All I need is a couple of Bud Light seltzers and I'll be hammered." So, we can just go back.
she got you a sandwich.
She came back with
quick.
a platter.
Here you go.
We don't need another Zatch out. She was like, "Oh, whatever you want, sweetheart." Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Bud Light seltzer is all 4.0 alcohol, but we go out to the
probably
shoal.
Weren't exaggerating.
We'd blow up this huge party island that our friend Dee had brought, and it's just like it with a 12-volt blower. It takes 30 minutes to blow this thing up. And it's like its own island, and we would set it up. And the greatest part is like she wanted it blown up like every day. We only blew it up about half the days.
Did it have palm trees on it?
Yeah, it's like a whole deal, like a covering.
Is that freaking? And it just floats out there?
Yeah, but we were in between a half a foot and a foot of water the whole time, so nobody spent any time on this thing.
Can you strap it to the boat?
We did, yeah. We strapped it to the back of the boat. It was like an extension off the back of the boat.
That's kind
of. It was hilarious because everybody just spent time in the water because you're on a sandy shoal, and like the kids just throw on the freaking goggles and they're disappeared looking for horseshoe crabs and little crabs and freaking rainbow trout, whatever.
Treasures.
Treasures. Yeah, on 4th of July, it was straight out. It was straight out of Caddyshack. Like the kids all have their snorkel thing on, and they're like snorkeling through the water. And I saw this guy's dogs hop off his boat, and they must have gone from like a long distance. And these dogs run over right by where our kids are snorkeling around, and I see the dog's back arch, and she's like, "Oh, she's just relieving herself," and I was like, "No, that dog's taking his shit."
Exactly. We know the telltale signs.
And like the kids are all swimming around, these turds are just floating.
Oh no.
The moms are losing their shit. They're like, "Get the nets, get the nets. We gotta clean that dog shit up."
Did we have any, and I just learned this term, Karens? That got
yeah.
We had Guy Karens.
No, those are called Kevins, I heard. So there's Karens and Kevins.
That's a true statement.
Dog shit. Just fucking move it.
Just whatever. it's a free country. It's like, what?
I can light fireworks off. I don't care if your kids are 5 feet away. Fuck them.
Dude, that happened here. Like my kids asleep and, they're blowing stuff up right outside. I'm like, okay, happy 4th, I guess. You're trying not to be that guy. You don't want to be a Kevin. So I'm like,
Well, no, I loved it. I was like, yeah, these kids know they need to stay away from it. They need to learn how to know their boundaries. And most march over there and tell that guy to stop shooting fireworks off. And I was like,
that's a Kevin thing. That's a Kevin or Karen thing.
You got 2 legs. Walk.
Oh, don't do it. You don't want her to be it because then she becomes a Karen. I think.
Well,
I
think I had 2 Bud Lights.
I might be wrong. I'm sure we'll get some comments to correct me.
I had 2 Bud Light seltzers, and I was.
Oh yeah, that was not gonna happen. Yeah.
So Nate and I, in a small group of friends, went to the beach for the 4th, and we're sitting at the hotel on the balcony. It's one of those. It's more like a motel type deal.
2-story thing. That doesn't go that high.
We're on the 2nd floor, and we're literally the only ones in that wing of the hotel. And it's 4:00 on the 4th of July. We're sitting up there. We'd been at the beach all day, and we're just hanging out. Drinking some seltzers, and we've got those the white poppers that you throw, the little paper poppers you throw, and they make a smack. So we're just throwing them at each other, whatever. Again, 4:00 in the afternoon on the 4th of July, we got 2 warnings from hotel management.
For what?
For paper snaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They
for
told us
littering.
They told us we had to break up the party. We got 2 warnings, and then we got you guys need to break up the party. And we're like, oh, okay, we'll go to the pool. So we went to the pool, and we got 2 more warnings.
They're like no more than 10 people in the pool. There was 3 groups of people in the pool, and each group had a different section. So there's a group in the shallow end. Our group was in the corner of the deep end, and there was another group in the middle of the pool on the side. And they came in, and basically everyone essentially ignored them at that point, and they left us alone. And then the new shift came in, and nobody in the next shift seemed to care. But it was.
Did someone call on you or something, or was it just the management that was tripping?
Just management.
I don't know.
So I had to go get a new key from the lobby. My phone deactivated my key, and I'm in there. And
that doesn't happen anymore.
And the lady behind the plexiglass is like a mask Nazi, because this girl comes through.
Hey, wear a mask. It's simple.
Yeah.
I got it. I don't disagree with that, but
I do. Fuck it. It's all a conspiracy.
So
it's bullshit.
The lobby. This girl comes in. She beelines it. She's beelining it through the lobby. She's almost to the door. She's about to go out to, right? And the lady at the desk is like, you can't be in the lobby without a mask. So she turns around and goes the long way back out the lobby. And I said, I'm like, wait, she was closer to that door than that door. I'm like,
logic.
And she didn't make, I'm like, never mind. So yeah.
You give yourself a nosebleed. No, I had a guy come up to me, and this was, so the law is up north is, if you can't maintain 6 feet of separation, you have to have a mask on.
Yep.
See, people forget that little caveat. If you can't maintain 6 feet or greater of separation, then yes, you have to have said mask. So I'm by myself. I think I told the story in one of the other earlier shows. By myself completely. And I guess it was the front end manager came up and asked me where my mask was. I'm like, I don't have one. I'm about to get on the bus. I'm leaving. Where I'm going, they're not required yet. So we got to have one. I said, well, I think the law is 6 feet, and I would be in compliance had you not walked up. He's like, no, man, they lose their minds. Like even if you know the rule, the rule is one thing, adhere to the rule. That's all. Stay out of my 6 feet, and we were fine.
You were wearing your uniform too, weren't you?
Huh?
Were you wearing your uniform when that happened?
Yeah,
I think so. Maybe. Oh, no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't wearing it.
And a lot of, if you look at
those little details mean something, you know?
Well, read the small print on some of these boxes of masks that you get. Some
Oh,
of
they
them
don't.
even say these do not protect against
Not
COVID-19.
prevent these. Yeah,
You
a
know,
good
it's
majority.
like,
The majority of the ones that we wear don't. And then you got folks that are just wearing one ply, like handkerchief over their face. You know, like you can sneeze through that. You know, the particles are coming through it. So I don't know. I think those measures are more self-serving and for optics more than actual. It might help.
Well,
You know, it's better than nothing, I guess. But come on, like when we're talking the medical implication of it, I think people are still going to get it.
I think back in May, somebody that was at the training center at our airline took a picture of the masks that were provided by the company, and they took a picture of the box, and it says clearly on there, does not do shit.
Someone did that to us too. Someone did that with us too. So I think it's a lot of, you know, gamesmanship and, you know. So one of the other ones was, I think I mentioned that too. Went out to dinner and they're like, well, you have to wear from the door to your table, you have to wear a mask. But once you're at your table, you can take your mask off. I'm like, what?
Yep.
I don't understand.
That's how they do
logic. Like the logic though. And I would have to get some expert to explain that to me because, and then you got people that are less than 6 feet away eating without their masks. So I'm thinking, what are we doing? Is this really? But it seems like we just have to do something, and that's fine. You know, we're humans, and that's human nature. We have to say that we're doing something to make ourselves feel better about things.
Yeah, that's it.
And you know, if that's what it is. But my thing is, just say it. Just say that's what it is.
Yeah, it's to keep the Kevins and Karens happy.
It's to keep the Kevin and Karens happy.
Kevin and Karen are not happy. They're the ones that are going. They're
going
never
into
happy. The fresh markets, and they're going, I'm not wearing a mask, you motherfucker. I have breathing problems.
Dude, I am addicted to those pages. You don't realize how I was up till 3:00 in the morning one night, and I realized I look up, it's 3:00 in the morning, and I go through all these Karen memes, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, this stuff is addicting because it's like a dumpster fire getting hit by a train. Like, you can't believe how crazy it is.
Remember how back in the day, on like Sunday nights, you'd watch America's Funniest Home Videos?
Oh, yeah. This is it.
We have 24/7 America's Funniest Home videos on Instagram right now.
Oh, my daughter's favorite thing is so on the way back from the Keys on Sunday, holiday weekend, first the strap that tightens your boat to the trailer breaks right around Naples, and I lose my shit, and then I pull into a Lowe's and buy some freaking some straps, and I strap it down just like we do cargo in the back of the tanker. 20 miles down the road, another freaking Good Samaritan comes by me and honks his horn loudly at me and points at the back, and I'm like, what the fuck is it now? Yeah. And I pull over to the side of the road, and I have a double axle on my trailer.
We can hear that, Nate.
Boat trailer.
Nate,
I turned it off.
Are you sure, Nate? What are you watching, Nate?
The front left wheel is missing from my trailer.
Love those guys.
Do you watch these guys?
Oh, yeah.
They're amazing.
All the time. Matter of fact, that one right there is pretty funny.
Oh,
I saw that one 2 days ago.
It's amazing.
Anyway, the front flap of what was gone?
No, the front left tire is missing completely. Like, all I can see is the axle, and it's been like ground down to nothing.
Oh,
so it's like Sunday, holiday weekend. My kids are in the car. They're like 8 hours into this fucking travel day.
Is this on the expensive boat trailer that your old man bought?
Yeah, the expensive. So we get a hold of a flatbed guy who flatbeds it 9 miles up the road and puts it in a Goodyear parking lot. And then I just take my family to freaking TGI Fridays for cocktails and food because we've had a long fucking day and mommy and daddy need to have some wine or whatever else. And they do the same thing, Brandon. They're like, yeah, put your masks on walking in here. And my wife's like, it's been a fucking long day.
So she turned into the Karen.
Yeah. And I'm like, just put your masks on. Let's get the fucking thing.
Let's just get the drinks.
We wore our masks. We wore our masks for 15 feet.
Yeah.
We took them off.
But it's cool, I guess, whatever.
Yep.
Makes people feel better.
I'm a team player. I'll play. I just question
some
of it.
But I forget sometimes. You know, I always carry a handkerchief, I guess, already anyway. But you're doing something, you just forget. Some places do, some places don't. And then you walk to a place that has a sign, you're like, oh crap, I just won't go here.
Yep. I went to the pool store yesterday, walked in there with my water sample, and the guy's like, do you have a mask? And I'm like, fuck. Like, yes, it's in my truck. So I went back and got my mask.
Yeah.
Pool store. Come on.
I know.
Well, they can get in trouble too. So
You know what it is? That's what it is. They get in trouble. They can get fined, right?
Yeah.
Or no, they can't. Not here.
I don't know.
I thought Florida, the governor was like cool with it, but each individual mayor of each township.
I think it's a mandate in Florida now, right? I don't
think the governor.
I can't.
The
keep
governor's
track
all
of it.
about. Yeah, and that's another thing. How do you keep track? I don't think here it is.
So here's an interesting tangent topic is, so my son's adoption finalization is on Monday. So he's going to be in Davidson on Monday.
Congrats.
Nice.
Yeah, it's exciting news. But nobody wants to travel down here for it now. It's a big deal. It's like when he becomes like a Davidson, right?
Yeah.
And but now none of the grandparents want to come down here because Florida's cases are up.
Their cases are up because the only reason our cases are up is
they're older, so they're 70 plus.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
I understand it. I get it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna zoom them in. They get to zoom in.
Oh, there you go.
I can't wait to see my dad zoomed in on a hearing.
That's gonna be funny.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, you gotta. Hey, you know what? You gotta get that footage, man. You gotta be the fly on the wall getting that
Be
footage.
recording the shit out of it.
Apparently my phone is about to die. So, any final words from me is.
Are you doing this on your phone?
Yeah, because apparently my it's a long story. Okay, I have Wi-Fi issues, so I'm using the.
I have T-Mobile, so I can do it on my phone.
Yeah, I don't. I guess I could plug it in, right? Is that how this thing works? Is that how power works?
We're an hour and.
Oh, we're an hour and a half into it. Dude, we kept you long enough. Nate, how do you feel?
Be nice to your friends.
I'll edit that.
But you know what? Who does? Hey, All right, guys. Yeah. We'll call it. Any final words? Any words of encouragement? Pour a little Louis out for our homies that are going to be losing their job for a couple of years.
Hey, I got one last parting gift. Is I've got a lot of feedback on whatever the first podcast we did. I kind of revealed that I was going through some shit and I wasn't great.
Yeah.
It's nice that people care, but I got, I don't know, 20 texts and 45 calls from people. So I'm glad that people care, and you should care. Awesome. And I think you should reach out to your friends and
I didn't know that many people watched the podcast.
I
didn't either.
I think people are telling people, Tyler. I don't think people are watching.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay, good. Oh man, did you see that podcast? I think Zach's.
I think Zach's losing his shit. But take care of your homies, take care of your friends. If you feel like you should text, call instead.
Yeah.
That's
on
awesome.
That note, that's what this was kind of all about anyway. This Furlough Friday, this specifically is about guys getting, old buddies getting around the campfire, having a little drink, and talking and getting stuff off our chest, which we rarely do as men. So, I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad it's having the effect that it does. So cool. Thanks, Zach. That's awesome.
Yep. Thanks for inviting me to my first podcast. It was fun.
It won't be your last, buddy. I want your opinion.
Hope not.
There was a topic I did want to touch on, but we can save it till next time.
Don't tell him. Can't tell him. Don't tell him.
We'll just leave.
You want to go? Do you want to do it now? Zach wants it in.
I don't know. Can your phone handle it?
I don't know. If I just fall off, I fall off, man. It wasn't meant to be. Go.
Edit it. It's fine.
Are you not allowed to plug? Are you not allowed to plug your phone in, Brandon? They have plugs.
No, I got this whole system. So I got a savings and a checking, and I got to transfer from my savings to my checking. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can do it. Hold on. Continue. I'm listening.
Since we post a lot of these on the Bro Network, and we've got a Nate Diaz here. He managed to create some waves a few months ago on the Bro Network with a couple that he saw on the Graham.
Yep.
There was some confusion as to what you were getting at. Just wondering if you wanted to elaborate on that at all.
No, I was getting at the fact that I didn't think it was appropriate just to be showing public displays of affection on social media while you're wearing a uniform. I mean, that was it, you know. And their OG is an old buddy of mine, and I actually messaged him. I'm like, dude, what is the deal with this? And he's like, oh, they're good people, you know, don't throw them under the bus and this and that. And I'm like, all right, man. But it was just, it just struck a chord in me. I didn't appreciate it. I think showing.
All right, I'm back. Can you hear me? What happened?
Yeah.
This is the PD. So what, Nate, you were upset about? I thought somebody else was upset. So you were upset.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, I just didn't think it was appropriate to show two people in uniform like kissing and making out in front of the airplane. That was really it. I don't know.
They're making out?
They weren't making out, but
No,
almost.
it was the kiss.
What was it? Was it like engagement photos?
No, the guy was coming back from a deployment, right?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Well, you get that all the time,
Yeah.
right? Stop being such a Kevin. What a piece of shit you are. You know, leave those guys alone.
I don't know. Yeah.
What I did like, though, it was pretty funny, the comments and everything.
Yeah, but
came
it
out
wasn't just one time. It was multiple times. The guy hasn't deployed. He's the first lieutenant. He hasn't deployed ever.
He's not
And he's
worthy
at
of
Milden-
this shit.
And he's at Mildenhall. Where did he deploy to? Suda? I mean, come on.
Yeah. This is true.
I don't know. I didn't like
Be
it.
that as
It
it
bugged
may.
me. And I voiced my
But-
opinion, and people got butthurt about it. So
That's
Whatever.
awesome.
But you're upset. Why? Because of
No, who cares why he's
Public
upset? It's just
display.
his opinion. Why does it?
No, I know. No, I'm saying like to get a background of like there's a reason behind it, and your opinion is valid. If you know, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with how you're feeling about it. I'm just saying,
Would
there's
you
a
think-
reason
Are they
behind it.
butthurt because Nate's creating a movement against PDA? Like, I would just be
Yeah.
like, fuck that guy. That's how I would be.
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
I got
Like,
mine.
people
and
get so
it may be, you know, for the people that know me, it may be somewhat hypocritical because some of the shit we've done in uniform, you know.
Right.
But I don't know.
Qdoba North.
Well, we don't post it on Instagram.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
actually turned
Right.
my
I mean,
phone
You're
off.
it was on a military aviators, you know, group, so everybody
Yeah.
everybody can see it. I'm just like, oh, that's. I just
Right,
didn't like
yes.
it. So whatever.
No, that's your value system, and that's okay. Your value system is valid. I mean, other people may not agree. I didn't think of it that way. I thought I saw it, and then it got taken down, and I couldn't really process it. I didn't know what was happening. The comments were funny as hell, though. If it's any consolation. It was great entertainment.
That was the most engagement any post has ever gotten on the thread whatsoever. Both
Yeah, right.
It
posts,
was awesome.
the original
It was
and the deleted post. You're like, hey, I
Yeah.
deleted this.
This is a weird side tangent, but has anybody been watching the basketball tournament on ESPN?
No. Is it good? No.
So it's an amateur basketball tournament. It's $1 million prize, and it's on ESPN right now. And I'm fascinated because it has an Illinois team in it, but it's sponsored by the Air Force Reserves. Guess what boom operator from the blank 3 ARS is prominently displayed in the ad that plays at least 50 times during said tournament games?
Really?
Taco Ortega.
And
Ooh.
No.
he would
Do we
be in
know
the
him by
top
code?
3 of the golf ladder at the blank 3rd ARS golf ladder.
Jansen? Corey.
Yeah, Maddie.
Corey?
Corey.
CD.
Why?
CD.
There's a commercial that the Air Force Reserves is running at least 50 times a game.
Really?
Jeez.
And Corey is prominently displayed freaking talking somebody through a contact. And I'm like, great, Corey.
Nice. Yeah. He's up
Perfect.
at Maxwell right now doing facing movements and marching.
Oh. He get picked up?
Yeah, he's at OTS.
Oh, that's great, man. That's
We'll see how
cool.
it works out.
Very
Good
cool.
stuff.
That rarely happens. Hopefully, I'm assuming he's going to pilot training. Hopefully, he's not going to screw it up like the last guy we sent.
No, I think that last guy has open some eyes for people, and they know it's not a cakewalk. So,
Yeah. Not everybody can do what we do, gentlemen.
no, they can't. We all
And
make
that's proven.
choices. We all have
Can we say
skills.
his full name on here just to shame him, or no? We probably should.
Yeah. Probably not.
Name.
Well, can somebody say his first name and somebody say his last name? Does that count? Can we just call him the gardener? That might
Does he
be.
go by?
Then it goes by something else.
The gardener. Oh yeah.
That might be direct.
Wait, who was the tailspin guy? The barber.
Oh yeah, the barber.
Barber. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Good
guy.
stuff.
His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
Robert Paulson. So the bottom line of the story, Nate, is stop being a Kevin. Don't be so prudish.
Okay.
Let them
I
kiss.
will.
Let them make out in no. You're probably right. I think this is under the UCMJ even.
I was gonna say, start a shitstorm. Who gives a shit?
I know. Let's see what happens.
Everybody does
All
it.
good. Yeah.
Yep.
Are we renaming the Bro Network? What's happening?
I think we're gonna keep
Funny you
that.
should mention.
What? No, I think we're gonna keep the Bro
The
Network. The
renaming.
Bro Network.
Are we?
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
But is it for
I think
bros?
that might be prudent.
What's that?
And I still see a lot of requests coming through. I'm not managing that anymore. So
No, we are. We got it.
Yeah, but are we
All right.
sure everybody's a bro? And are we?
So I'm
hurt on a
I'm
regular basis?
the questions have changed,
Yeah.
and there's a couple questions added. Are you easily offended, and do you report posts? And if they say yes to either one, obviously they're declined. If they don't answer both of them, they're declined. If they do answer both of them, I'm screenshotting it with their name. So if they ever are offended, or if they ever report a post, we'll publicly shame them.
We'll shame them. Yeah.
Cool.
nice. Very
Yeah.
good.
Hey, Rush.
Are those AirPod Pros, Brandon?
They are. They are.
Yeah. I need to upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here,
he
Rush.
can afford AirPod Pros, but he can't afford fucking Wi-Fi connection. That's worse shit.
Wi-Fi, apparently.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Who knew?
I got to get a new system, man. I don't know. They told me I got to get a new system. I don't know.
I want to get a new dog. Nate's dog is.
Do they sound good?
Freaking podcast.
Yeah, that sound good.
Yeah, they sound good. Podcast star. No rush.
Why does your dog look like he wants to kiss you in the mouth?
Exactly.
Dude, that was an odd relationship.
Like tilted his head. He's like,
Tilted his head like, where's the peanut butter? That's not usually where you put the peanut butter.
Nope. All right, fellas.
All right, guys.
My
Yep.
AirPods are
Good
dying.
times. All right.
All right, guys.
Till next time.
It's been real.
Yep.
Peace.
Take care.
Later.
See ya.